Welcome to today's video. As you can see behind me, back at Yashio factory, we're going to be doing some more work on the SR20 engine for the S15 today and give you guys a bit of an update on that whole situation. But I actually have something exciting to show you. This is my ride for the next few days. This beautiful new Hino truck. It's not my truck, it's on loan from an amazing friend. And we also have a scissor lift leased, which means tomorrow in the next few days, we're going to be changing the shop lights over to LED lights like what we did here at Yashio factory. As you guys know, like this looks incredible how lit up this place is. So we're gonna be doing LED lights there too. Also, this is the lesson car. It came back from paint and stuff. I don't know if Uncle John showed it on his channel yet, so I'm not gonna show you up close, but he got a new paint job and it looks incredible. It looks like an entirely new car. Looks similar to mine. Anyways, that aside, we're gonna be doing LED lights, fixing up some paint stuff and stuff over the next couple days. And I've never ever used one of these crane trucks before, so I just got given a lesson on how to use it, and it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. So anyways, driving this home tonight, parking this out the front of my house. I don't care about the Karens, they can put up with it. But anyways, let's go walk to the K-Van because I got something cool to show you. So what is in the back of the K-Van, I've actually been pretty depressed about, and I'll explain, but I'm also excited because of what it means. But this is a brand new transmission, R154 JZX100 transmission from Toyota, and they robbed me. Like, all of you guys complain about GTR tax or Nissan tax or whatever, but Toyota tax is a whole nother level. This thing cost me about $3,000 US, and that's just what they're going for from Toyota, brand new. And yes, that is with shop discount and stuff like that. Like, these are so expensive now, it is ridiculous. And it hurt buying this. Not gonna lie, it did. By the way, like, it's pretty cool. Like, this comes with everything. Like, there's no shifter missing or anything like that. But what I noticed was just how awesome, tight, and notchy this shifter feels. And it made me realize that probably the transmission in the Chaser was definitely very old and fatigued. Because, like, I spoke to everyone, like, R154s should not be braking at the power level that my car's at. Yes, I clutch kicked the crap out of it, but I think the theory was right, that it just was a high mileage transmission, probably wasn't looked after and cared for too well. And that is most likely why my transmission blew up in the Chaser. And I think a really good telltale of that was just how sloppy and loose and crap the shifter was in it, because that thing's probably been shifted a lot and it was sloppy and gross and flapping all over the place. This thing is so tight and notchy, it feels amazing. So yeah, that kind of tells me that, yeah, my transmission in the Chaser definitely was old, had a lot of mileage on it, and probably all the gear sets were fatigued and stuff like that, and it was just waiting to happen, to be honest. Also, we have no idea what the previous owner did to that transmission or where it came from, so yeah, it was a mystery tranny. But this, brand new from Toyota, but this is not my end game, boys. This is just a temporary transmission, so I'm gonna be selling this after I use it for about 1 to 2 months, because we're gonna be working with an incredible company that makes probably the world's best dog gear set for the R154 transmission, as well as a bunch of other transmissions for Skylines and GTRs and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy about that, and we'll be making content about that when we're building the transmission. But we have a bit of time, roughly 2 to 4 weeks probably, before we'll get the gear set and be able to start building that transmission. And we're gonna be using my old current transmission that is in the Chaser that's blown up because that gear set's toast. We got a full new gear set coming that we're gonna be putting into that casing, which is dog transmission. I don't have to use the clutch if I don't want to for shifting. It'll just go straight in. It'll be H pattern. We're gonna keep it the same ratio and stuff as the R154, so it still has that same similar feeling, but it's gonna be dog transmission. So it's gonna sound incredible. It's gonna be a real race car, probably the most insane transmission I've ever owned to date for a car. And I'm really excited to be working with that company, but we'll all announce it and stuff in a future video. But that is the game plan. I was initially thinking of going down the CD09 route, but this route actually worked out better for me in the end. So we're going with that one. But I'm sure a lot of you guys out there that can't get your hands readily on an R154, and considering Toyota's also stopped making these, the pricing on them is just gonna keep going up. And like I said, I literally was just buying this as a temporary solution so I can still get some seat time while we wait for that gear set to come. So this thing's gonna be up for sale, and I'm gonna recoup a lot of the money that I spent on this. Most likely all of it, because the price that I paid for this from Toyota is so much cheaper than what they're selling for on Yahoo auctions, brand new. So if I just list this up as, hey, we put it in a car temporarily, it doesn't even have 1,000 kilometers on it, I'm sure it's gonna still sell for a decent amount of money. Probably the same that I paid for it, to be honest. Anyways, that aside, brand new R154 for the Chaser. We're gonna get that thing up and running in no time. And we'll probably be there in the next few days doing it. So expect more Ebisu content again soon with a brand new R154 that hopefully doesn't break. So enough talk about the Chaser. Let's talk about the SR and where we are at with this and what we are doing today. So this is currently as it sits. We haven't changed anything since we last worked on it, but today we are dealing with the trigger setup. Now, I am not using the stock cam angle sensor. Once you start making some power on them, you start getting issues, and the optical sensor from Nissan on those is just trash. This is what we're going to be using. We're working with 50 Ignite, an amazing company that makes amazing trigger kits for Nissans and other cars out there, especially the RB. I love their kit because it's not just this ugly wire, cherry sensor, open cam view mess here. There are so many other trigger kits out there, and I don't know why people like them so much. For me, I love the OEM thing where there's actually a case that covers everything there and you don't just see this mess. They make an amazing RB trigger kit, both for the crank and the cam, that doesn't have this ugly open mess here with a sensor and wires hanging out and some weird colored bracket holding it. I hate that look. I love the OEM, like, looks good. Anyways, that aside, they make an amazing trigger kit for the SR that replaces the old optical cam angle sensor. And this is awesome because it literally just goes straight in here. Now, there is a few things that you do have to do, but it is relatively simple. And let me show you this. This here is the sensor that goes in there. Goes in the factory location here, like that. This is the factory OEM plug, so you don't need to rewire anything. And then we just have to change a few things about the camshaft and add this little guy there, because there's a sensor built into here. On the other side, you can see where the opening is, where the sensor sits in here, that is going to be counting this rotating, so it knows where top dead center is. See this? How freaking awesome is this? I am so hyped about this. So this is going, lift this up, show you in a second. So this ends up going here and replacing all of that. It's seriously just a bolt-on trigger kit. It's so simple and so effective. Like, this is going to give you the ability of adding more ignition timing, being more accurate, and just fine dialing your tune even more, as well as also just preventing a bunch of stuff like spitting out rocker arms. People don't understand that getting your ignition timing and like your ECU communicating with these sensors and finding out exactly where top dead center is and knowing where all of that is timing wise is super important when it comes to soft limiters and stuff like that to prevent your rocker arms from coming off. So having a really good trigger kit on your SR is imperative, and I can't stress that enough. So I'm gonna have a link to this product down in my description, guys. Make sure you jump on it. If you have an SR and an aftermarket ECU, you should be running this trigger kit. You're stupid if you're not. I'm just being straight and honest with you guys, but this is pretty much a bolt-on kit, and I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than this. So I'm going to be putting this on right now, and I think we also have a new harmonic balancer here to put on today. So we're going to sort all of that out and get things moving. Trigger kit is now installed, and oh my gosh, does that look good. I was picturing in my head it was going to look this good, but it looks even better now in person now that it's done. And installing it was so easy. So there's two main ways to install this. You can follow the Nissan and manual and take out the tensioner and all that kind of stuff, and then you can do it just by yourself. But if you have a friend around to help you, you can do it a really quick and easy cheats way. Just get your friend to hold the sprocket here, like you would have seen in the time lapse. And essentially he's holding the sprocket. Just make sure he's really pulling that back and stopping it from falling off the cam while you're bashing with a small hammer the old cam angle sensor kind of gear here. Once this comes off, then you're good. It is very tightly on there, so even after like you do the bolt and stuff, you got to bash it from like all different angles and stuff till it kind of comes off. Take your time and it'll pop off pretty easily, and then slide that on with the new hardware that they provide and you're good to go. Everything kind of lines up perfect. You do want to make sure with this little locator here that there is definitely a little gap there, You can kind of see it there, but there is a little gap there. It doesn't bottom out completely on the gear. That's what you want. That's perfect. And yeah, as you can see, everything lines up perfect. These back cogs here are lined up and hitting that. And then this one here, I cannot wait to configure this in the ECU and just see how good it is. But yeah, there is no play here as well. It's perfect, doesn't twist backwards and forwards. It's perfectly lined up. It's actually amazing. I don't doubt that a lot of research and development went into this and making it look as simple and simplistic as it does. I'm sure like they spent so much time perfecting this. So thank you so much, 5.0 Ignite. I cannot wait to get this engine running with your trigger kit. It looks so good. OEM Plus, and it looks good. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to repeat myself, but it looks freaking good. That aside, time to deal with this ugly pulley on the front. I wasn't intending on changing this initially, but in all the photos and stuff, I was like, you know what? I really just want to put a nice fresh pulley on that. So I was looking around at buying an ATI Super Balancer, and then I remembered that at one time I was up there going through boxes with Okachan looking for something else, and I found an ATI Super Damper pulley. And I asked Okachan what it was for, and he said he had no use for it, and he bought it a while ago and didn't end up using it. So I asked him if I could buy it from him. There is so much dust on here, it's kind of crazy, but here it is. So I'm going to quickly look up the instructions and see what we need to do to install this. But this bad boy is going to go on there with this, so we can all have power steering, aircon, and everything all in one. And we should be good. And I think I do need to use different belts because these look like they're all different sizes compared to those. So we'll figure that out as we go along. But ARP bolts and hardware seem to be here for this. And well, let's go from there and assemble it and follow the instructions on ATI's website. I cannot wait to get a picture of this engine and how good it looks with a new front pulley. Well, harmonic balancer, whatever you want to call it. We are now done with everything I wanted to get done on the SR, and that new harmonic balancer just ties it in so nice. The only thing I want to change is I want to take these two pulleys off, clean them, and paint them black so they look fresh. And then maybe I can do something with the AC pulley. I don't think I can take that off, but at least clean it up and make it look nicer. The only other thing I want to change as well is something to do with the alternator. I do need to upgrade that because I do want to run thermos. So two big high CFM fans, that stock alternator will just starve to death. So I do need to upgrade that. And I know a lot of people upgrade to LS alternators, but I'm not sure if that's the move here in Japan because you can't just buy LS alternators from the parts shop. There's really no LS engines in Japan in any of our cars here. So maybe I can just get the stock one rebuilt into something a little bit more amperage and stuff so it can handle the two new thermo fans. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. This is starting to look so good. And we can finally start putting stuff together when my bell housing from MazWorks arrives. Oh, and just quickly, I didn't ugga-dugga this on all the freaking way till Kingdom Come. I just a little bit till this was flush, then backed it off. This is still on here loose until we can get a flywheel on there and torque everything to spec how it should be. But that's it. I mean, it looks so good. And what's crazy is these two simple mods are actually going to end up helping the engine's longevity and lasting longer and being more reliable. So can't recommend them enough. A nice harmonic balancer to take out some more harmonics and vibrations from the crankshaft, and a nice trigger kit to make sure we can get everything perfect with our ignition timing so we don't have any detonation issues. All right, Trucky Sam is back, boys. I'm pretty sure this car is a start and second truck. Let's come off the clutch, feel where it's at. Oh, okay, this is nice. I've never driven a Hino before. Don't hit the new GTR. All right, let's go. Oh man, this thing drives like a breeze. Second gear start, love it. Let's get home. We made it home, lads, and this thing looks ridiculous out the front of my house. Sorry, Karen. I'm sure you can gather that there is a lot happening behind the scenes right now. And I do apologize if this video seemed like a lot of talking and whatnot, but just there is so much happening with running around and just getting a whole bunch of stuff done, so that we can get everything set up for some other videos that I have planned this week. It's honestly insane, and it feels really, really good because everything's actually kind of super organized right now and planned out, which I am loving. Anyways, guys, I still hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely go check out those trigger kits if you've got an RB or an SR and you're looking at other kind of mods like that from 50 Ignite. Massive thank you to those guys for sending me out that trigger kit. But that aside, got some cool content right around the corner coming up, and if you are interested in all the like kind of stuff that's happening behind the scenes and the raw kind of things that don't make it into vlogs, go check out the SAMMIT Raw channel. That's the second channel where I upload things that I just don't think are main channel worthy. You guys like the tech videos I've uploaded there, like when we built the Minecraft server and stuff like that. And we're probably going to have another techie kind of video where we're finally getting a nice TV for the house and setting up a projector in the bedroom and stuff like that for just, you know, watching Netflix and chill stuff. But yeah, sure you guys will enjoy all that stuff. Head over to the SAMMIT Raw channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Tons of raw driving footage there too. That's where all that stuff ends up. Anyways, guys, smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Ciao, mata.